Hello, everybody. This is John Ross, and I am here to walk you through how we can translate a number from its standard form into its word form. Our learning objective today reads as I can read and write large numbers through 999,999,999 in word form. For our activator, we have a bit of a mathematical warm up. We have a number that has been given to us in its standard form, and we are tasked with translating it into its model form and its expanded form as well as its word form. We're going to start out with its model form, and when I translate a number into its model form, I like to start with the digit in the greatest place value, which in this case is the 2 found in the thousands place. And that 2 can be represented by using 2 cubes. Next, I have a 3 in the hundreds place. Those 300s can be represented using 3 flats. Then I have a 5 in the tens place, which can be represented using 5 rods. Next, I have 8 in the ones place, which can be represented using 8 units. And so I have successfully represented this number in its model form, and that reads as 2,358. In our expanded form, we can actually use our model to justify how we write our number in its expanded form. Again, I'm going to start with the largest place value, which is the thousands place, and that thousands place has a 2 located there. And that 2 can be represented using 2,000. And we know that to be true because here we have 2 cubes, and each cube has a value of 1,000. And together, that makes 2,000. So I'll put a plus sign right here. I will then note that I have a 3 in the hundreds place. And if I have 3 hundredths, those 3 hundredths together hold a value of 300. So now I have a 5 in the tens place, and that 5 in the tens place has a value of 50. And I have an 8 in the ones place, which holds a value of 8. And so I can move on to the word form, and I would write it the way that I speak it, but I need to make sure that I'm speaking that number correctly. That number is spoken as 2,000, and I put a comma next, 358. And do note that I put a hyphen between the 50 and the 8 because when we have a digit of value in the ones place and in the tens place, it's kind of like they like to be linked together, if you will. So on this page, we have an anchor chart of sorts, which will use the information found within this chart to help us over the next few pages. So we have up here at the top the word periods. And a period is a 3-digit grouping of a number on a place value chart. I would even say, within a number written in its standard form as well. So we have the ones period, we have the thousands period, and we have the millions period. And so the ones period includes the ones, the tens, the hundreds. The thousands period includes the thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. The millions period includes the millions, 10 millions, and 100 millions. And so on this page, we have 9 different numbers that are 2 digits. And so those 2-digit numbers we're going to represent in word form. I want to note that this number is properly read as 24, so that's how we're going to write it. But we will put a hyphen between the 20 and the 4 because we have a digit of value here and a digit of value here. This is 38, so that's how we write it, with a hyphen found in between because we have a digit of value in the ones place and a digit of value in the tens place. Next we have 43, 58, 67, 72, 85, and finally just 90. And I say just 90 because there is no hyphen and there's nothing that follows that 90, because our digit in the ones place is not a digit of value, so we do not need to write anything to represent that there is nothing there. So remember now, when we have a digit of value in the ones place and the tens place, we like to link those two words that represent the number of tens and the number of ones together with a hyphen. Here we have a number written in standard form that begins in the ones period and moves on into the thousands period. And that is written in word form the same way it is read properly. And it is read properly as 45,000. I put a comma next. And then notice I have no digit of value here in the hundreds place. So I can skip over that and just jump straight on into 39. Now I do want to point out that I have a hyphen here between 39 because I have a digit of value in my ones place and a digit of value in my tens place. I also have a hyphen here because, like our ones and tens who like to be linked together, our thousands and our 10,000s also like to be linked together. So that is 45,039. Here we have 601,702. So we move from our ones period into our thousands period. And I want to write this first. This period on the far left, the thousands period, I want to write it the way that I speak it. So I speak it as 601. Notice I skipped over the 10,000s place because there was no digit of value there. So that's 601,000 with a comma, 702. Again, I skipped over the tens because there's not a digit of value. And that's it. That number is written and read as 601,702. For our next number, we start in our ones period, move on into our thousands period, and finish off in our millions period. So I want to write it in word form the same way I read it. So in my millions period, I have just 4 million. So that's just what I'm going to write, 4 million, followed by a comma. Then I have, in my thousands period, just 700,000. There's nothing in my 10,000s, nothing in my 1,000s place. So I write 700,000, comma. Then I have 580. So that is written the same way I speak it, 580. And there we have our number written in its word form and its standard form, which was given to us. And so here we have, again, a multi-digit number that begins in the ones period, moves into the thousands period, and moves into the millions period. I want to write it the same way that I read it, and I read it as 54 million. And there's a comma there, so I'm going to put a comma after my million. And then I move on to my thousands period, which reads as just 67,000, comma, followed by 29 in my ones period. And I do want to note that, notice here I've got several words that are linked together because I have a digit of value in my ones and my tens place. I have a digit of value in my thousands and my 10,000s place, and I have a digit of value in my millions and my 10 millions place. So when I have a digit of value in both of those locations within those three periods, I want to link them together with a hyphen. And then I have 72,608, which can be written as 72,000, comma, 608, which is read as 72,608. And so at this time, I'm going to invite you to move on into your independent practice, which is found in Schoology.